I tried to make this video. This is like the third time. I'm not very good at this. Excuse me. Yeah, I was watching The Real Music Observer, this guy Dave. I've been watching him a couple years. I like his channel. It's a lot about boomer rock and AOR and shit. And he had Clapton on recently. And I was watching him today talk about it, and it kind of blew my mind. He was the only YouTuber who would talk to Clapton. Like, I'm sure, you know, smaller channels would talk to him, but he's the only one that has any kind of following that talked to him, or that offered to talk to him, or that he went to. And outside of YouTube, I don't think there's many other people that even talk to him. He's been ostracized because of his views on the vax. He's been called anti-vax, all this stuff, and whether he is or he isn't, whatever, I don't even care about all that stuff. But what was pointed out by Dave is that there is collusion happening at the highest levels of power in the world, where they seem to be working together. We all know this, but to see someone else from sort of that kind of that genre to speak like that, it's encouraging, man. I just wish more people would. But the thing is, okay, now you know. Well, not now, you know. A lot of us knew it anyway. There is a group of people that are in control of everything, and they sort of have all the power. And this is where it becomes very schizo. Who the people are doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter who they are. The thing is what can you do about it? And the answer is I don't think people can understand right now. You can't react violently or even aggressive in any way. You can't aggress on them emotionally, physically, mentally. Because if you do, you lose. You have to imagine this force, this group, this thing that is trying to do stuff to the population. If you hurt it in any way, they take that damage and they absorb that like a snack, and then they blow it back at you. You can't hurt them with aggression, any kind of aggression. And you can't even, you have to do the opposite of what they're doing. Getting together with people you know and you communicate, like that all sounds nice, but that's not how you do it. You don't do it by forming militias. You don't do it by going in the streets. You don't even do it by meeting up with anyone. The way to win this is everybody stay separate, everybody do their own thing, and getting together. I mean, even trying to put some kind of loose thing. First of all, how could you? You couldn't, because they own all the social media and all the internet spaces where you could do that. But it wouldn't matter anyway, because that is only a path to aggression, to aggressing on them. Remember, you can't beat them by hurting them in any way. What I think is going to be the answer, we don't know yet. I don't know what it's going to be. I don't think we've discovered it yet. And things are moving very quickly. Things are being discovered. I don't know what it's going to be. The method of fighting back against them, but I know what it isn't. And it's not any kind of force or even really, I don't want to say any kind of attention, because, you know, you have to know, I mean, you have to understand that the situation you're in to beat these people or to just outlast them or get away from them. You can't use any kind of force. You can't get together. We all have to stay separate. It's going to be done in a way that we can't comprehend right now. And I know it sounds completely schizo and backwards, but you have to do the opposite of what they're doing. They're colluding together and using force against the population. We have to stay separate and not use any force. And I know what I'm suggesting sounds a lot like stay at home and do nothing, but that's not what I'm saying either. But you know what? It is what I'm saying. That is what I'm saying. But the result of that isn't going to be what we assume it is right now. Like, oh, just stay home and do nothing and watch the world burn. Something is going to come up. We're going to find a way around this. Or maybe a way through it. We just don't know what that way is right now. And anything you jump the gun and do is not only going to hurt you, it's going to hurt everybody else. It's going to just make them stronger. Think of a Chinese finger trap. How you get out of that? I think it's going to be something along those lines. And I think it's a method we haven't come up with yet. And I'm pretty optimistic that we will. And no matter what they throw at us, right? No matter how bad it seems to get here or to you personally, it's only happening to you within this little system, this little game, this little matrix. The real you is just getting the experience out of this. You're here like as a representative of yourself who's somewhere else. You're broadcasting to yourself here. You're already way stronger than them. It's just the method hasn't revealed itself yet, and I think it will. So, yeah, it sounds lame, like don't do anything, just wait, but I think that's what we got to do. Because what exactly we have to do is unclear, but I know what we don't want to do, and that is set up a militia or get stockpile weapons. None of that is going to work. It's only going to make them stronger. It's, to some people that hear this, they'll just say you're retarded and good luck waiting for them to kick your door and drag you out in the street. If that's what happens, that's what happens. Okay? A path will reveal itself, you know? Not to be woo-woo. It is pretty woo-woo, though, you know? Like, it sounds like the Ben Kenobi method. It is the Ben Kenobi method, though, because these guys work, it's like the Emperor from Star Wars. The more you hurt this fucking thing, the stronger it gets. And it will take the damage you've done to it emotionally, mentally, or physically, and it will smack you back with that and obliterate you. And then it ruins it for everybody. We don't have to... Yeah, sit at home and do nothing. That the outcome isn't going to be getting rolled over. We work differently from them. We have to think differently from them. The situation, a solution to the situation will reveal itself. Sooner than later, I think. And if it doesn't, then there are smarter people than me. Jesus, I would hope. Someone smarter than me will figure out a way to beat them without aggressing on them, which is a kind of weird... It's the Chinese finger trap, man. I tried to do this 3 times. I don't know if this made any sense. It probably just sounds retarded, schizo too, but I don't know. I was just thinking about it. If I come up with something better to explain, but I think you get it. I always assume like no one knows what the fuck I'm talking about, but a lot of times, you know, people do. And people forget. They forget they're hiding behind an eminence front. It's put on. Excuse me. It's put on.